Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Marvel Champions unboxing hero pack for Ironheart. So in this video, we'll be taking a look at Ronnie Williams and her Iron Suit. So you have another Champions character. It should be really fun. A couple other little twists and turns on this deck. So of course we got our poster, which is our cover work. And then the description of stuff about her. So, she's got a new rule called Progressing Identity, which we'll get into more. I'm not going to read through all this because it's basically how her deck works, but it's actually kind of a new thing. But there's a new keyword that they started adding. It's called Requirement Resources. A card with a requirement keyword cannot be played unless the resource of the specified type is spent. So some might say they require energy to play that card, so you have to play energy. If it's a 3 cost, one of the 3 has to be energy, the other 2 can be whatever else. And then we have, she's going to have some leadership. So she kind of runs as like the pseudo leader of the champions, generally behind, I would say, like Miles or Camilla, Miss Marvel, and Spider-Man. Alright, so here's how her deck works. She actually has 3 personality cards. She has 3 heroes and 3 regular versions. So this is what's going to be different personalities. So we've had, like, Iron Man, or we've had Ant-Man and Wasp, who've had a small card and then a big card that flips over big to small. We've had characters like Vision, who have had his regular one, then he has his form card, which he can switch back and forth into. But she actually gets 3 different ones, but they don't work as she has 3 personality cards sitting out. She does is they're going to upgrade to each other. So they will, of course, have their numbers on the bottom, 1, 2, and 3A, just in case. So we start off with, if we look at her hero form, she's going to have Champion, version 1, version 2, and version 3, which all have different effects and different stats. So her stats will go up as she grows. Her hand size will go up 4, 5, 6. Her hit points will always stay the same. And then the same idea here is that on her alter ego side, though, it doesn't specify which one's which. Her hand size is always 6. So we're going to look at the back side first. Let's look at what Ronnie Williams, level 1, does first. So she has Genius. At the begin the game with this card. Set your other identities aside. See the insert. Child Prodigy. Action. Spend 1 Genius resource to place 1 progress token on Ronnie Williams. Limit once per round. Then, if we flip this over, it's going to say Ironheart. So this will be her Champion, version 1. 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 defense. Level up. Action. Remove 6 progress counters from Ironheart. Ready her and swap her with her version 2 Ironheart. So you can still flip back and forth between the two. So she starts off as Riri, and then you can flip her over to her Ironheart suit. Then after you have 6 counters on her, you can upgrade her. She's actually fairly decent stacks to begin with. She just only has a hand size of 4. That's kind of a big problem. She can't do a lot of stuff. And it says spend 1 action limit once per round. So that means it's gonna take you 6 rounds to upgrade her, unless there's other cards in her deck that will help her out, which we'll see what happens. Then if we look at version 2, it's going to say Child Prodigy, action, spend 1 Genius resource, or put 2 resources of any type to place 1 progress counter on Ronnie Williams. And then if we flip them, so we get Ariel, Champion in version 2, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 defense, level up, move 6 progress counters from Ironheart, ready her, give her a tough status card, and swap her with her version 3. And then final is we have Child Prodigy, action, spend 1 resource of any type, place 1 progress counter on Ronnie Williams. And then when we flip that over, She can become her own Ironheart suit. 3 attack, 3 thwart, 2 attack, 3 defense. Aerial Champion version 3. Maximum efficiency. Hero action with 1 progress counter from Ironheart to deal 2 damage to an enemy. So then she has 6 hand. Which is about what everybody else has, but she does have maybe a little less hit points than other characters. But she has some pretty killer stats. Yeah, so and also her genius becomes better. So originally it's 1 genius, and then it's 1 genius or 2 of any resources. So once you do it the first time, the next time it becomes a lot easier. And then the third one, you get those resources out. It's whatever, just place 1 of any type, and she can get them extra counters. Then unfortunately, she doesn't have any, until you get to version 3, she doesn't have any extra abilities. It's just she doesn't start with a bunch of different stuff. So let's see what her deck does. It should work out to help benefit her. So her signature ally is going to be Brawn, Adamish Chow. 4 cost ally, 2 thwart, and 3 attack. Champion in Gamma. When Brawn is exhausted, he gains resource, generate 1 genius resource limit once per phase. So this is actually a neat effect. So it's kind of like his Brawn is all his attack, and I guess a little bit of thwart. But by using him, rather than just having him be like a damage soak, he can generate the extra resource for you. So you can generate that free resource you need every turn that he was out to help spend for this. So you basically attack with him, get that resource to put on reroute, and not have to use your other cards. She's going to get 2 copies of Flyover, a 2-cost event with Thwart, hero action. Thwart, remove 3 threat from a scheme and place 1 progress counter on Ironheart. 2 progress counters instead if this thwart removes your last threat from that scheme. And this is how she's going to upgrade quicker rather than lasting 6 turns. So if you do this card and you get now you're down to 5 turns, and you play the second one, you're down to 4 turns. So all her cards are going to help her speed up her stuff. So 3 copies of Photon Beam. 2 events, attack, hero action, attack, deal 4 damage to an enemy and place 1 progress counter on Ironheart. 2 progress counters instead if this attack defeats that enemy. So both of them, it's like they're both helpful for 2 ways. 1, you're doing thwarting and attacking, and then if you're getting your progress up, then if you actually use them to finish them off, you get more. So either you're going to help upgrade her quickly, or if you're on her final version, once she has counters on there, you can keep removing them. She's just hero action with 1 progress counter from Ironheart to deal 2 damage. So once she's at her top one, you can just spend an action to keep removing these counters. So if you had her upgraded, here you do hit the extra enemy either for an extra 2 or an extra 4 damage. If she gets up there, she's going to basically be running on all cylinders and hitting hard. Also, if you're using like Brawn first, if you have him out, he can exhaust to attack or scheme to hopefully reduce that to make these cards get that that sucking ability better. She's got 2 copies of New and Improved, 3-cost event, skill, hero action, choose X different options where X is equal to Ironheart's versions. This is also fun. Search your deck for an Ironheart card, shuffle it add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. Give Ironheart a tough status card or ready Ironheart. Yeah, so that's cool. Higher level she is, the more she can do. So 1 copy of Sector Scan. 3-cost event. Reduce the cost to play Sector Scan by X, where X is equal to Ironheart's version. So in Shovel 3, it's a free card. Hero action until the end of the round. You may look at your top card of the encounter deck at any time. So limited uses on that. I mean, it's always nice to know what's coming up. Might actually make a difference if somebody plays a card that might end up forcing that to draw or not. She gets 2 copies of a special resource called Stroke of Genius. Response: after you spend this card, place 1 progress counter on your identity and draw a card. So use this for your genius energy, and then get an extra progress card, and you get to replace it. So it's definitely awesome. She's gonna get one copy of Ronnie Williams, a one-cost support persona, alter ego action. Exhaust Ronnie Williams to choose to heal 2 damage from Riri Williams or place 1 progress counter on Riri. So she's gonna definitely have all these cards that are gonna boost her up. She's got another ally here with Tony Stark AI, 2-cost support. Action. Exhaust Tony Stark AI, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, and discard the other. I downloaded my fabulous self in the digital frame in case my body was ever, not working anymore. She's gonna get 1 copy of Photon Blasters. 2-cost upgrade, attack and weapon. You get +2 hit points. Hero action, exhaust Photon Blasters, deal damage to an enemy equal to Ironheart's version number. And her final card is going to be Propulsion Jets, another 2-cost upgrade. Attack, you get +2 hit points. Hero action, exhaust Propulsion Jets, remove threat from the scheme equal to Ironheart's version. So that's really fun. If you get both of them out, you could have +4 hit points. And then you could, which is definitely helpful, gives you 14. And then you could exhaust 1 to deal 3 damage, the other one to remove 3 threat. Plus, if you have resource points, you can use a hero action to remove progress counters from her to deal 2 damage to an enemy. So once she gets fully upgraded, dropping them counters left and right, and you're going to drop them more and more, because you're going to do more damage, do more thwarting, because as her stats go way up, well, her thwart goes up. Her attack and defense stay at 2 and 3 the entire time, but she'll do more thwarting each time. But yeah, the more and more you do, the better she gets. So I like it's a good little bit node to Iron Man, kind of like where he had to build up his armor to be better, and she's sort of the same way. So that's a fun little deck there. So let's look at her attachments here, or her aspect. So she gets leadership. So she's gonna get us a bunch more champions to play with. So other champions we have, I know, top of my head is I believe Miles Morales, Spider-Man, was also listed as a champion. I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe Miss Marvel was listed as a champion. She could have just been an Inhuman though. And then Nova's a champion. So we got at least a couple other champion characters. Just off the top of my head. So we have Cloud9, Abby Boiling, 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, aerial, and champion. Hero action, exhaust Cloud9. Choose a player. Until the end of the phase, each aerial character that player controls get +1 thwart. I was going to say, a lot of the champion characters have aerial. We're going to get Falcon, Waquan Torres, 4-cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, aerial champion. Hero response. After Falcon attacks or thwarts, spend 1 energy resource. Ready another champion character you control. Hey, it's Joaquin, and I'm here to rescue, and good thing, right? We have a Patriot, Arayshawn Lucas, 3-cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack, champion. Hero response. After Patriot enters play, choose a champion character. That character gets +1 to each of its basic powers till the end of the round. So definitely fun, different characters. We're going to get 3 copies of Going All Out, 2-cost event, attack, requirement, energy, hero action attack. Exhaust your hero to deal damage to an enemy equal to the total number your hero's thwart, attack, and defense values. Oh boy, all 3 of them. That's actually pretty crazy. I just said Miss Marvel there. I'm like, ooh, that might be fun to play in her deck because she likes energy. We got 3 copies of Push Ahead. Thwart requires Genius. Hero action. Exhaust your hero to remove threat from a scheme equal to the total defense. of your hero's thwart, attack, and defense values. So like the opposite version of that. That's fun. We have morale boost, which I believe we've had before, but they're going to give us 3 of them anyhow. 1 cost event, hero action. Choose a hero until the end of the round. The hero gets 1 attack, 1 thwart, 1 defense, which would work really great with those other 2. 3 copies of R&D Facility. Location and Shield. It's a 3 cost support. Requires 2 geniuses to use. Hero action. Exhaust R&D Facility and remove 1 research counter from it. Choose a friendly character and play that character gets 1 thwart and 1 attack till the end of turn. So that's actually really fun as well. Plus it's any friendly character. And then we're going to get 2 copies of the Power of Leadership, which we've seen a lot. Resource, max 2 per deck, double the number of resources this card generates while paying for a leadership card. Alright, so that's basically stuff either a couple of allies or stuff to boost their stats. There's only so much you can do with leadership because half your cards, either they end up being allies or they end up being cards that boost allies. Then we're going to have our basics, which are going to give us some more allies here. Agent 13, Sharon Carter. 4 cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack. Shield Spy. Response. After Agent 13 attacks or thwarts, choose a shield support. Ready that support. Extra nice ally, but unless we have a bunch more shield support cards in here, it's maybe not as useful in this deck. Another basic ally, we have Snow Guard. Anika Alika, 4 cost ally, 0 thwart and 0 attack. Response. After Snow Guard enters play, place up to 3 shift counters here. Well, the shift counters here are equal to X she gets. 1 attack, or 1, she gains 3 attack and spend her attacks gain overkill. 2, gains 3 thwart and gains the aerial trait, or 5, gain 5 hit points and gain retaliate 1. So basically you can decide what you want her to do. If you want her to attack, you can give her 1 counter, and she can get 3 attacks if she can attack, but she gains overkill. If you want her to be able to have the aerial trait to maybe work with like Cloud9, she can, and thwart, she can do that, or she can have extra 5 hit points and be an 8 hit point character that just retaliates every time she gets hit. So that's actually really fun. Little morphine type character. We are also gonna get Vivian. I forgot, she's one of our other champion characters. We do have her as a main character as well. 2 cost ally, 2 thwart, and 1 attack. Aerial, Android, and champion. Hero response. After Vivian enters play, choose an attachment, non-elite minion, or non-permanent side Steam. Till the end of the round, treat that card's printed text boxes as if they're blank except for traits. Just nullify a card for a turn. 1 copy of Go for Champions. 3 cost event, max 1 per deck. I was trying to see who they were fighting, but I don't know who those guys are. Play only if your identity has a champion trait. Hero action, each champion character in play cannot take damage until the end of the round. We're going to get 1 copy of a Helicarrier, so we have a shield support card here. 3 cost, location shield, max 1 per player. Action, exhaust Helicarrier, choose a player, reduce the resources cost of the next phase. Next card that player plays by 1. Make everything cheaper. If you have Agent 13, you can reuse this. And then we have 3 copies of Ingenuity, 2 cost upgrade still. Play only if your identity has the genius trait, max 1 per player. Resource, exhaust Ingenuity to generate a genius resource. I love these ones, like the upgrades that let you gain bonuses. And then genius is usually always on their civilian side, or their civilian, I guess, alter ego side. So I like that they started making cards that actually like benefit those instead of just always wherever their hero traits are, like champion or adventure. So that is fun. Alright. Then we got her obligation. She says, a minor setback. Give to Ronnie Williams player. Move one progress counter from your identity, then discard this card. If no progress counter is removed this way, deal yourself one face down counter card, then shuffle this card into the encounter deck. Ooh, so this one's actually interesting, because most other ones, you can just exhaust to get rid of it. This one, you're never going to get rid of it. So you're going to remove one, not to keep worrying about it, or for some reason you don't have any. Whether they've removed all your cards, or you just haven't got enough on there, or you just upgraded so you didn't have any, it's just going to come back at you. So that's actually really interesting. Alright, her nemesis. Rule by Force. Lucia von Bartis is in play. This card gains hazard icon, draw extra counter. Well, Lucia von Bartis is not in play. This card gains acceleration. So, minion. Lucia von Bartis, 2 steam, 1 attack. Criminal, cyborg, and elite. Well, Lucia von Bartis has tough stats. She gets 1 steam and 1 attack. Force response. After the villain phase ends, give Lucia Bartis a tough status card. She has 1 copy of Cyborg Tech and Attachment Tech. Attach this to the minion with the most traits. If you cannot, this card gains Surge. Attach minion gets plus 3 hit points and gains Retaliate. Plus, you also gain 1 attack. Boost. Deal this card to yourself as a face down encounter card. And then finally, 2 copies of Political Retribution. When revealed, if Lucia von Bartis is in play, she steams. If Rule by Force is in play, place 3 threat on it. If neither is in play, it gains Surge. And then the last thing we'll have for the main deck is just her deck listing, in case you were just wanting a list to show what was all in the deck. Alright, so that's Ronnie Williams' deck. So it's actually a fun, upgradable deck. Now the last thing we have to show off are our extra cards. So usually you get 3 copies of each of the other 4 types. You know, the 3 other aspects in basic. Instead, they're doing something a little bit different in this set. And it seems like going forward is they're going to give you fewer upgraded cards, or fewer new aspect cards. And instead, they're going to give you an extra encounter, which is really fun because it's a great way to add in characters that wouldn't maybe normally fit in some of the bigger sets. So we get a couple extra different characters. So here we're actually going to get 3 new allies, 1 for each of the colors. So instead of when you ever get an ally, you only get 1 copy anyhow. You can only have 1 per deck. So instead of getting 3 brand new copies, we're just going to get 1. So we have Bombshell, Line Out Bomb Gardener, 4-cost ally, 2 thwart, 3 attack, Champion. Playing with the identity has the Champion trait. Divide damage from Bombshell's attack amongst enemies as evenly as possible. So this will work with the other champions. I'll just add them into their decks if they have these colors. We're going to get Wasp, Nadia Van Dyne. So now we have a version of her to go with her against her regular player card. 2-cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack, Champion, only if you have the Champion trait. Wasp ignores guard keywords, patrol keywords, and the crisis icon. And then we have Pinpoint. Klarishi Gupta, 2-cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, Champion. Play if you have Champion trait. Hero Interrupt. When a player card would be placed into the discard pile from play, exhaust Pinpoint, shuffle that card into its owner's deck instead. Just you reuse your cards. That's pretty fun. Alright. Yeah, so we're just going to get 3 of those. So instead of getting 3, 3, 3, and then 3 basic, we're just going to get 3 new allies. That's not the first time we've had an ally. I know we've had like Iron Man or Tony Stark before, and Iron Man. And when we got that, we only got the 1 copy as well. Instead, what we're going to get is we're going to get a new encounter deck for Zyzax. So he has feedback loop steam. When revealed, each player must place threat here equal to the total number of energy resources they can in their hand on cards they control. And then his minion card's going to be 2 steam, 2 attack, 4 health. Zax gets plus X attack and plus X hit points, where X is equal to the total number of energy resources on cards the engaged player controls. Boost, will you have at least 2 energy resources in your hand? Zax gets to play engaged with you. And then he's going to have 2 copies of Haywire. Attack your identity. The printed resource cost of each card in your hand as if it were energy. Ooh. Hero action. Choose to either discard cards you control the printed energy cost or take 2 indirect damage to discard this card. So, not only is that making everything into energy going to make him bigger and make his cards more powerful, it's also going to shut down you playing your stuff that requires other things. So 1 copy of Air Static, which is an environment. I love that they started making these type of steam or encounter cards, the environments. Force Interrupt. When a villain phase begins, it deals 2 indirect damage to each player's energy resource in their hand and or on a card they control. Hero action. Choose to either discard card you control the printed resource energy or take 2 indirect damage, discard 2 cards. So the only difference between direct damage and indirect damage is direct damage means your main character has to take it. Indirect means it's just coming towards you. You can redirect it at one of your allies. And then we also have 2 copies of Zap. Treachery. When revealed, take indirect damage equal to the total number of energy resources in your hand. Your identity was dealt 1 or fewer damage this way. This card gains Surge. Yeah, so it's definitely fun. This is going to hurt some heroes more than others. Just because it's depending who's playing a lot of energy resources. But this is a really fun thing that they started doing. I like having more aspect cards. Especially allies are really fun. I like that they did 3 of them. That's a neat way to do that as well. But yeah, getting more of these are great. You're already getting a full bunch of them in every hero deck anyhow. So having more of every single one every time they're additional was kind of nice at the beginning, because then that way you had, I just bought like I have my base game and I bought like 2 hero packs. I got 12 extra cards I can use, or 4 different card names I can use to add into my decks and make my decks bigger. But now that there's 20 some plus heroes, or it's probably way more than that at this point. But yeah, now that there's so many different heroes, it's like every hero has one of them decks. You have enough, you can mix and match. Adding a couple interesting cards that kind of tie in to these other characters, but not necessarily having to try and make a bunch of new ones. And then adding new encounter decks actually like a lot better, because now I have another encounter I can add, but without them trying to figure out where to add Zax into it. Like, would he fit into the last set with Spider-Man in the Sinister Six? Not really. Would he fit into the Guardian of the Galaxy set, or the upcoming X-Men set? No. This is a great way for them just to add other little encounters to do it. Plus, they can make them a little bit more difficult. Like this one, if you play with energy resources, this is going to be brutal, because you're going to keep giving them. I feel like Captain Marvel, her entire deck is based on having a lot more energy. He's going to be a lot harder to fight, because she already is going to have a ton of those. She's going to need to get, it's going to kind of be more brutal, versus maybe someone like the Hulk, who's going to have probably a lot more fist icons. Yes, that's definitely a fun way to add more. Just single villains, but then they can also add other little minor encounters, like stuff like Hydra soldiers, or like various things like that that may not normally fit. Or just themed things too, like extra armor, like they go like a goblin tech and stuff. It'd be a neat way to like add extra additional items or power things like that to these decks that, you know, don't really directly have to fit in with a base set. Alright, so that was Ironheart. Yeah, she has some fun little things with that upgrade ability. Like, kind of reminds me of Iron Man, but it's not just the same mechanic over and over again. Bunch of new ally cards for the champions that would boost up their stuff. Plus, combined with the other champions, you can make some fun decks. Plus, you should be able to run, you know, for sure a four-person team by now, if not bigger. So I like that they're keeping them teams in there. Alright, that's what I got for this one. See you guys in the next video. Bye!